recently picked up a bunch of art supplies from Facebook Marketplace for free, and there were a lot of letters inside. That got me thinking, why don't we spend 1 month trying to incorporate words into art? It doesn't come naturally, and I don't even know where to begin, but we might be able to make some really cool stickers from it. And who knows what will happen when we switch up art styles for the Daily Doodle Diary. Look at all this mess that's out. The monthly prompt over on Discord is April showers. There's already a ton of cute pieces, so I think that's where we're gonna begin. The last few days has been experimenting with whatever art supplies are out and trying to get through collage supplies. The drawer is overflowing, okay? I'm in love with these old musical note sheets. And do you recognize those bubbles? Do you remember what video those bubbles came from? We finally get to use the extra sheets. Created so many. That was a really weird process. It was like watercolor with bubbles, but then dropping watercolor. Crazy. So the prompt is April showers, and I want to create a piece that might be a cool sticker. At the moment, the shop has just closed, and I want to say a very big thank you for all of your support. So many of you got your hands on the new princeton stickers when the shop doubled in size in March. So even though that was the big shop update, we have a lot of new goodies coming in August for the next big shop drop, and hopefully we can make a fun little collage sticker here. The prompt is April showers. That made me think of an umbrella, of course, and rain. Yes, but I guess the whole point of April showers is that it's going into spring. There are flowers, the flowers bloom. So I want to create something that is a little bit motivational, happy. Obviously now we've got all of that lovely sun, but I'm gonna be honest, the seasonal affective disorder really affected me this winter. It kind of does every winter. Something about living in the UK, you don't really think it's gonna be that great and cold for as long as it does. And then it gets to about February, March time where it's supposed to start getting sunny and nice, and it isn't. And that's actually the time that I struggle the most, because it is supposed to be going into spring and we're still wearing jumpers. It has been so cold. So I'm hoping that creating some nice happy art about spring is gonna help get out of that rut. We have some little tulips. It's pages from a book that have been stained with ink with the random little bubble pieces. We have some musical notes, I guess an odd yellow post-it note, add some green tissue paper. This really is mostly junk with the words time to bloom. And something I've never tried before is to make joint up words in paper that have to be cut out like this. Oh, it looks so much cooler than I ever imagined. Look at it. Hopefully the words are legible enough, because I'm super excited about this. Just needs a little line work. There's just something about collage, doesn't it look cool? I have ordered some sample sheets from a company to make my very own Daily Doodle Diary sketchbook. Yes, I'm aware it is May, but there's a lot of exciting stuff this year. There'll be another shop update in the summer, and there's also the advent calendar. Okay, so the idea is work with a company to make the book and link with them so that they can sell it on Amazon, so it's easy to get. However, which company we go for depends on the paper. So we have all of these to try. We want paper that can handle a lot of mediums. So today, that's what we're gonna test. From the offset, I think both the cream ones are a no. We have coated and uncoated to try. These will be a lot closer to diary paper, but we could still try these. I'm just not sure it will handle watercolor very well. Ignore all of this. That's for another video. Okay, first let's try watercolor by itself. That's the coated paper, each of those. Yeah, it does feel like there's a little bit of resistance on top. Kind of like the Hobonichi actually. Let's just keep adding paint and see how much it can handle. The lower GSM is looking a lot closer to diary paper. You can tell it's pretty much dry and it's warping quite a lot already. Next up, we'll try the uncoated. I think this is going to be the hardest medium for the diary. Something like alcohol markers we are going to test, but it will probably be okay. And something like color pencils will probably be quite forgiving. Ooh, it's done something on this one. Let me try that again. Yeah, the smaller coated one is definitely a nope. Obviously, we're gonna have to test it for pretty much every medium. This one over here is very dry. So for the watercolor tests, 100 GSM coated is a no. Same for this one, really. Although I'm thinking this is kind of where the Hobonichi sits. Slight granulation, but a bit more chalky. Saying that, I do think these are the most vibrant. Of the uncoated, I think the 80 is a nope. It's kind of struggling. This one here worked amazing with the water. You can see all of those blooms up close. It stayed wet the longest because that line, which is quite harsh on all of them, kind of blended out on this one. So I would say for watercolor, this is the winner, although that one's a little bit brighter and probably closer to journal paper. This sits a little bit closer to a sketchbook for watercolor. Well, okay, that's the first test done. We'll test alcohol markers next. We'll grab maybe a purple, lighter color. Let's see how much it spreads. Starting on the biggest nope so far. It's actually perfectly fine. Same again on the middle tier. Oh, that purple looks brighter too. This is the most vibrant one. It does feel smooth, but it just doesn't feel like it would sink in very well. If you listen, it's kind of nice, but I think every single day for an entire year, I think you'd get sick of it. It does sound a lot more like paper. This is the winner of the watercolor test. What about spread? Maybe a little bit, but I wouldn't say it's much more than the others. You can see it is keeping the line well. We could grab some water-based markers next. Also highlighters. These ones by Faber-Castell actually go through the page. Oh, Karen as well. Okay, let's add a little bit of highlighter to each of them. And this juicy one. Comparing like the pink and the green, they are brighter, they're more vibrant. I just think it'd be a one layer kind of thing, whereas this one seemed to have seeped into the page a little bit more. And we have all of that water blooms. It's the only one that did it. Let's try Caran d'Ache. If it's not good, it's definitely going to show with this. This is the uncoated. Yeah, it just feels like a sketchbook paper. I think this one will be similar as well, yeah, because it's uncoated. No issues whatsoever, really. Coated, this is what I thought would happen. You can hear it, but like, look how much thinner it looks. You have to like really press down to try and get it on there. Oh, that's a nope. Same on this one, like, look how much thinner it looks. Do you see how different that looks? Just like that. Especially if you like Caran d'Ache and you like this look that has a bit of tooth, a bit of texture, the coated just removes it. I think that solidified it. Of the coated, the lowest is a no. The middle one failed for the watercolor, and then the highest one, I like it. The alcohol marker looks crisp, but the color pencil is a big no, really. The lower of the uncoated isn't too bad, but I think this one is just better. It's a little bit lighter on the alcohol markers, but it handled the pencil well. Like, look how much brighter that looks compared to that. 100% the best for watercolor. So I think this one is the winner, but let me know your thoughts below. We can always do more tests. This is like a background project that we're going to be doing in every Daily Doodle Diary episode. Just gradually working on it to get the book ready for about October time. The aim is that there'll be two versions. One is 2027, and that will also have like the monthly goals and gratitude and recaps. And then the other one is a 365-day one. Oh, I can't wait.
There you go, casually strolling into my life at just the right time.
Popping on Miko because there's nothing better than creating art whilst watching an art YouTuber creating art. I'm thinking of painting a little sleeping kitty. Maybe something like this. We have no sketch, just going straight in and hoping for the best. The watercolors are out, the salt is out. Yes, it's a mess. Future video. I've got a slight idea in mind, but let's just wing it and see what happens.
As you know, I was thinking about calling it quits with love, but then you showed up. Oh, my heart had had enough of being mistreated, lying there in pieces. Too good to call it luck, you appeared when I needed. Gave me back that feeling.
A few more salt pieces in the Daily Doodle Diary. Yes, unfortunately, some of them didn't really fit. And it looks like this one might not either. Always catches me out that this Daily Doodle Diary is not actually A5. It's a little bit narrower, but the perfect height throws me every time. Now this is a request. Create a groovy chick spread. Okay.
It happened all at once, and then you came running. Time was slowly fleeting. Too soon to call it love, but I called it the second I saw your face.
Oh, why don't we just grab this marker and colour a little bit around this sticker? Since they're out, we might as well try and fill the gaps, right? Before going in with no sketch whatsoever and attempting to draw the groovy chick. Although I guess we need a little bit of space because we are going to put words in this. And decoration, of course, it's groovy chick.
There I go, falling right into your arms as if it's where I'm meant to stay. As it showed, I was still all caught up in the past, and yet you would still wait. Oh, my heart had had enough of being mistreated, lying left to feel it. Too good to call it luck, you appeared like a vision, writing on the ceiling. You knew it after one that we would be now and then and always. Too soon to call it love, but I called you the second you left my place.
A black fine liner. This is scary. But the likeness is getting there, right? We do need the black lines. That is what Groovy Chick has. I just don't want to make a mistake. The only real problem with creating art on coloured paper like this is that that is your background. Even using pencils, it's really difficult to erase on this paper. And these are markers. How perfect is this little G? Are we seeing the vision? We do actually have some scraps in the studio that I think might help. All of these, the edges from the salt the other day. Okay, actually we're getting sidetracked. Let's keep with the groovy.
Oh, I can be a mess. You still love me when I'm so in my head, deep out of my depths. You can get real quiet. I love you despite it. You know that I care, and still when I need you, you come running.
These These are all the stickers from the Facebook Marketplace haul we picked up for free. So yeah, some of them are a little bit cringe, but I can see exactly where this request came from, because how perfect are those flowers for Groovy Chick? And even some of the words. And when I showed Buddy, he thought that we traced the gal, which is like the biggest compliment, honestly. I think we did it. And if you're enjoying this video, why don't you go ahead and give it a like? This is a big Daily Doodle Diary episode, so it'd really help. I actually want to give away, it's another scroller box. Let's see what we got. Since it's May, maybe today we could draw a mermaid. Ooh, yes, I got the sticker. Last time I didn't get a sticker. We got a micron, a jelly roll. Not my favorite, but the 10 is the best of the lot. Oh, that's going to be fun to use. There's Junkie. Sketch marker graphics, alcohol based. It's a lot of earth tones I'm kind of getting here. Ooh, another little sticker there. I need to keep that. Growlerzine. Ooh. Oh, now that's pretty. Should we pop this on the wall? I'm gonna be honest, okay? We are slightly running out of space. Guess there's a gap there. We're kind of connecting both sides at this point. This is the creator. I think I might already be following them. Oh, that looks so cool. Hey, we got some marker paper in here as well. Wait until you see how big the Daily Doodle Diary is now, though. Oh, wow. That's their art. They're incredible. Oh, interesting. They're saying about making it look a bit like stained glass. Oh, it's Lucy Locke's art. She's also here on YouTube. I'll leave her down below. She's absolutely lovely. Okay, so I thought about taking part in Mermaid this year, but this is the prompt list. K-pop, Book Talk, Miami Vibes, Sea Shanty, Botero, Shell Silverstein. There's just so many that I don't really understand. So that's why I'm not taking part in Mermaid this year. This is the size of the Daily Doodle Diary. It's a little bit problematic, I'm not gonna lie. Like, look at that already. Since I last saw you, I had some acrylics out for the Met Gala video comparing cheap and expensive paints. Popped some of the leftover acrylics on these pages just to fill it up, and same on this one. So today is the 10th, and the mermaid prompt is shell phone. Big head on like a smaller body, bit cartoon-like. Obviously we need to add words, that is the theme. Oh, do you know what? This pencil is a dream, actually. Okay, I know what they said, but I think we're gonna need to go in with the micron because this is gonna look far too messy to go straight in with our core markers. And we'll do the same over here, I think. Okay, guess not. We want to like move it along a bit, okay. Go in and do the hair next. Maybe some thinner eyebrows. Gonna have to add some darker shadows. Just a little bit in the hair. A little bit here where I also made a mistake. Let's do a little bit of swatching whilst we're waiting. These are chisels. Oh, okay, that's pretty light, the first one. The blue, which we're definitely gonna need. Oh, that's a lovely ultramarine. Green, yellow, orange, brown. Didn't think of skin tone. Considering we don't have a pink for blush either, I think we might have to go for this grey shade. Have them looking a little bit ghostly, I guess. Hopefully this isn't gonna smudge. It's erased okay, but you can still see some pencil lines. The micron has erased slightly, which is odd. Why don't we grab the light grey and go over the face first? Oh, why does it look like water? Very juicy. You can see by the way it's sitting, it just desperately wants to form blooms. Let's just quickly get this done. I'm like working so quickly. What if we add a little bit of like yellow on top? I don't really know what to do. Oh my, do you see that? Okay, change of plan. We're gonna work with it. Be very precise where we're gonna add things. Blue in the eyes, I guess. You can see it reacting, right? Like it's going against it. Funnily enough, we've used every color except the brown. Oh, that was a mistake too. So many mistakes. Okay, let's read the scene, shall we? That does explain actually how they made that stained glass look, because I was questioning why it looks like that. Doesn't really say anything, it just calls them alcohol markers. I wonder if they just have more alcohol in them than others, and that's kind of why they're blooming. I think if we go ahead and make the hair mostly brown, that will counter the weird parts on the skin. Maybe it will look okay. I mean, at this rate, it's probably gonna look closer to watercolor. color. Let's do yellow highlights, orange in the shadows. The brown is the only color that doesn't really spread in the same way. Well, this is not what I was expecting in the slightest. Okay, why don't we do around the outside? Oh, it's so strange. Now the background's in place, I think we want to keep the tail quite light. What about the yellow for the words up here? This one orange. The tail is going to be mostly these two. Green down here. Then we'll go up to this color. Oh wow, it really just picks everything up, doesn't it? Add a bit of yellow and see what happens. Okay, so I had the idea of grabbing this jelly roll to add some bubbles if we can. Maybe some dots too afterwards. And the gel pen is actually kind of turning blue. These two pens we're definitely going to use. The pencil I knew I was going to like, and yes, absolutely. Considering they are advertised as alcohol markers, nowhere does it say how different they actually are. It's an odd color palette though, I will say. May. Okay, let's give it a scan. Who knows, it could become a sticker. Wait, there's stickers in the back of this moleskin planner? I had no clue. Did you know this? What a cool surprise. And today's mermaid prompt is totally 80s. It's got to be Madonna, right? Gotta say, it's pretty difficult to come up with words to go with these mermaids, but this one I'm pretty proud of. I thought of go with the flow with a mermaid that's just swimming, and obviously the totally 80s theme is the way the mermaid looks and the colours, kind of Madonna inspired, but I am really struggling with this pen. It's supposed to be a good fountain pen. It's definitely user error. I don't know what it is. I've used fountain pens before and I've always found them difficult. I guess I haven't really used them very much, and maybe they are harder to draw with than write with. But yes, this is the process. And first up, using the coated paper. The markers are gliding on the paper. You can see they are kind of just sitting on top. There is something satisfying about using this sort of shiny paper, but unfortunately I don't think this is our paper choice for the Daily Doodle Diary. It is a nice paper to use, although the colours do look very different down and I'm really struggling to blend them all out. I don't think you could use this paper every single day for 1 year. I think it would get frustrating pretty quickly. So whilst it looks nice and the squeaky feel can kind of be nice to write with, I don't think you'd want to draw with it every single day. The paper is also looking a little bit patchy. There's something not quite right, so I think we need to go in with the acrylic markers and make bolder line work, add some details. Speaking of paper, we really should talk about that scrawler box. Okay, so you know how I thought it was the alcohol markers? That they were just really juicy and different. Yeah, so Buddy used them on regular paper in his Daily Doodle Diary and could not understand what all of the faff was about. It literally looked to like regular alcohol markers. So turns out it's not the alcohol markers, they are just generic alcohol markers. It's actually the paper. That weird flimsy paper. I guess it has some sort of shiny surface where it just sits on top, which is kind of exactly the same as this paper. It's just a bit odd that they included an entire scene that didn't really explain how different it was. Yeah, although the weird thing with this paper is actually that the alcohol markers don't bleed through. I mean, that's pretty odd too. Amber has challenged us to create a piece using only dark colours. Okay, challenge accepted. I'm gonna be honest, the Daily Doodle Diary is looking a little bit odd, but I actually made paint. I can't wait to show you. Yeah, there's a lot of odd stuff going on. Oh, what is that? It's the 22nd and the prompt is Botero. So it's a guy. Didn't recognize the name or face, but look at their art. We all recognize this, right? It's a cool style. A little bit of Bailey J to keep us company, who I actually got stickers from recently, a ton of Princeton stickers. If you haven't seen the small business haul, I'll pop that one below. We ordered from Apple Cheeks too. It's a really fun one. And I guess for this prompt, we're drawing a wide mermaid. It's a journey, okay? This was one of the prompts I was trying to avoid because it's scary. Of course we need a skin tone, but other than that the rest are dark colours. We have a deep blue and a deep purple. I'll often go for lighter tones or mid-tones, and this is a very different colour palette. Although I'm now realising that we are literally just drawing a mermaid. I think I'm getting a little bit lost in the prompt and completely forgetting the theme of this episode. There are no words, and there's no space for words. But so far I am loving how this drawing is turning out, so I think we'll just make do. Trying to combine my own art style with Botero's, and this piece is going so much better than I ever could have imagined. It is, it's like the perfect combination of both of our styles, and I'm actually in love. What is this? How is it so much better than I ever could have imagined? The anatomy is a little bit odd, it is a style choice, and obviously we had to just bend the mermaid in order to get the face a nice workable size. Now this is the uncoated paper of the highest GSM, and I think it's handling the alcohol markers pretty well. It's handling the pencil well too. This is better than the Daily Doodle Diary that I currently have. So if we can create a book with that many sheets of paper of this type, I think that might work. Just need to scan it. Obviously this one does have lines. I think when it comes to the actual book that we're creating, most of the book will be plain paper, but I would like to add the odd week here and there with some lines or some dots or some grids just to keep it interesting and have that diary vibe. I don't know, let me know your thoughts down below. And what about this mermaid? Did we do it? A little bit of a personal project. I'm actually going to Download Festival very soon. It's like 2 weeks away now and we are not ready. I'm working the festival so we get free entry. Just have to work 3 shifts. And I want to make a sticker. Obviously we want words and we want some kind of reference to the headliners. I think the theme this year is kind of like lava and there's a 3-headed dog, and this is going to be very hard. Since I last saw you, there's a secret project. Some random little squiggles. This piece here is actually using a specific color palette. Over on the Discord server we have a monthly art prompt, and since it's already mermaid we're just doing a color palette instead. I kind of like the blue combo. A quick silly little doodle, and I think we'll start off with pencils and alcohol markers and then maybe acrylics later on. This is what I mean when I say the theme is lava. Grab a pencil. Having the dog like this might be a little bit easier to work with actually, and then some reference to the 3 headliners. And we also want the year. This is hard, we're basically making a sticker from scratch. A lot of people do trades and stuff, and I'd like to have them on me. So if we stick with the dog, mine is looking like a cat. Why is it so cat-like? I know for Guns N' Roses we can do a rose. Limp Bizkit have this, which I could try and do as a silhouette on top. Oh, what if they're all kind of silhouettes? You'd have to do like the rose kind of here though. Linkin Park just have a symbol really. I need to finish this off. This is looking very sus. I think we need to join them up a bit closer. Oh my, why? Okay. I'll fix that. This is where we sketch. Decoration in the sides. Maybe you extend the lava or something to the sides. I think we're gonna have to go slightly smaller just to be able to scan this okay and not lose the edges. Yes, so let's go in with fine liner and hope for the best. Yeah, I think doing like a square or a rectangle would make it a lot easier actually. Okay, let's make it a touch smaller. A, that is the D. Well, it definitely has words. We actually go straight. Ooh. And then the L is very particular as well. Oh, and then the D is kind of the other one backwards. That's interesting. Guess around for the nose. Big round eyes. I'm just gonna fill that in. We can always add white highlight later. Next, we need to go up here and then kind of round like this. I think this is scary. Can we do it as black? It goes up here. I think I'm just gonna color all of this in now. I hope this pencil erases. To be honest, I also don't know if this pen smudges, so trying to be cautious. I think this will work. Red, orange, red, orange. Maybe a little bit of apricot. Maybe a cloud blue for the eyes. Maybe a yellow as well. We need a bit of contrast. Maybe even a geranium for the darker tones. Maybe a little bit of a green blue. That's the color palette. Start with the ones that we know. The cloud blue is slightly darker, so I'm going to do that on the top. Although it really hasn't made very much difference at all. Do the darker red behind the nose. Oh, that's not really done what I thought it would. Don't know what colour we're going to do the words in. Maybe that's where the yellow comes in. Yeah, I think we'll do this all that red colour then. Now, I kind of want to somehow blend it up orange. We need to blend it down into the red and then we need to somehow blend it up into yellow. I don't know, it's not really the right paper for this, to be honest. Might just reuse that greeny blue. Don't really want to introduce a different green at this point. Could maybe do download in the yellow. Kind of wondering if this was the wrong yellow now. We missed this little bit. As for the rest, we kind of need a darker black. Maybe something like the indie ink. I think we are going to need a white later on to add a bit of an edge, a bit of a highlight and try and make it pop. It does look like that though, so we're going to have to be careful. Oh yeah, this is looking a lot darker now. It's so tricky with a brush like this, trying to do lettering. Next, I think we'll grab a white gel pen. Add a couple to the eyes. Honestly, gel pens are always so finicky. Might work well for the rose though. I'm gonna fill in the ears, make it look a little bit closer. I'm gonna grab a grey. Just need some darker areas, some blobs. Maybe not this dark. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this, so I don't think we're gonna extend it. We'll just do a little bit at the bottom. Okay, I think that's done. So all we need to do is scan this. I say all. We then need to load up the editing software, edit everything, tweak the colors, the brightness, all of that before test printing, checking everything's okay, slight tweaks, actually printing, and then adding that cold laminate film. And after all of that, we've turned this drawing into this adorable sticker, making a huge handful to take with us. It's gonna be a fun weekend. And that's it. That's another Daily Doodle Diary episode complete. We have created a lot, and I definitely want to add words to more stickers. Go create some art, and I'll meet you back here in a few days' time. Bye-bye.